Imagine a city gripped by fear, 17 women gone, lured in with promises of friendship, only to vanish without a trace. This is the story of Raya and Sakina. Egypt, 1920. A time of change, uncertainty and chaos, but beneath the veil of everyday life, a sinister force was at work. In the back alleys of Alexandria, a series of disappearances would shock the nation. Behind these heinous crimes, two women, Raya and Sakina, sisters, mothers, and killers. Today's case takes us to Alexandria, Egypt, once a major city under the rule of Alexander the Great. Today it continues to attract visitors with its rich history, vibrant culture, and stunning beauty. Take a walk on the sandy beach, grab a local breakfast sandwich, and go see the world's greatest library. You won't spend much here, prices are really fair. You can perhaps take a detour to the old market. However, be careful. The sisters would go to this market, hunting for their victims, befriending them and inviting them over, to never be seen again. All the victims shared one thing in common. They were middle-class women targeted for wearing gold jewelry or carrying money. But these crimes did not end with theft. The mastermind older sister Raya killed some of her victims for ridiculous reasons such as jealousy or paranoia. They had business front, which was an illegal fun place. Customers there could do whatever they wanted as long as they pay. This turned their little theft murder activities into a full-blown crime syndicate. The gang included 6 members, the sisters along with their husbands, and 2 thugs. Raya and Sakina, with the help of their gang, would lure their victims into this house of horrors, promising shelter, friendship, or simply a place to rest. But once inside, the women were never seen again, ever. The victims were strangled, their bodies buried under the floorboards of the sisters' residence. Raya and Sakina continued to live in these very houses, as if nothing was wrong. To their neighbors, they were just 2 sisters, making ends meet. Inside, the gang worked with grim precision. As their victims struggled for life, the sisters remained emotionless, viewing each murder as just another transaction. When it was done, the bodies were buried deep under the floor, and then the sisters would strip the victims of their belongings, which was mainly jewelry, and sell it in the black market for cheap. The horrific acts of the gang might have continued had it not been for a series of chilling discoveries made purely by chance. One morning, the mutilated remains of a woman were discovered on the streets. Her body was unrecognizable. Scattered bones, a skull with long hair, and fragments of clothing, leaving little clue as to who she had been. It was the beginning of a trail that would lead directly to Raya and Sakina. Later that day, a partially blind man named Ahmed Morsi entered the police station with another disturbing report. While digging inside his home for plumbing repairs, he had uncovered human bones. Disturbed, he dug deeper and found an entire skeleton, prompting him to immediately report it to the authorities. The house was right by the police station. An officer confirmed the horrific findings. A gruesome burial site right in the heart of Alexandria. Further investigations revealed that the room had recently been rented out by none other than Sakina, who had desperately tried to regain possession of the room after being evicted by the landlord. The truth was starting to unravel. But it was the next discovery that would blow this case wide open. The overpowering smell of incense coming from Raya's ground floor apartment piqued an officer's interest. The thick smoke only raised the officer's suspicions, and when he questioned Raya about the matter, her nervous and erratic behavior only deepened his doubts. A police team was immediately dispatched to Raya's apartment. Upon arrival, they discovered a storage platform made of wood. As the officers cleared the room, they noticed something off. The tiles beneath the platform were newly installed. When the tiles were lifted, a stench of rot filled the room, overwhelming everyone inside. Buried underneath was the decomposing body of a woman. Raya, now visibly shaken, was unable to maintain her composure, but the nightmare was far from over. As Raya was escorted to the police station, another body was discovered in her home, and in a shocking twist, officers uncovered an irrefutable piece of evidence. A circular rope tied with a stamp belonging to Raya's husband, Hasabullah, that had fallen from his neck while burying one of the victims. The discoveries kept piling up, bodies being unearthed as well as evidence. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was a rope found in Sakina's home, belonging to one of the missing women named Nabawiya. Sakina initially tried to claim that it was hers, saying the woman in the neighborhood often traded clothes. But it was clear this was Nabawiya's, and it sealed Sakina's fate. The investigation into the murders was complex, but Raya, under pressure, finally spoke. Raya claimed innocence, insisting the two thugs committed the murders while she was absent. She only admitted to witnessing one killing. The real turning point came from Raya's own daughter, Badia. Terrified of her aunt Sakina, she pleaded for protection. Once reassured, Badia revealed the chilling details, how her aunt Sakina lured women to their deaths, and how the bodies were buried beneath the floors. Faced with the mounting evidence, Sakina confessed. She admitted to participate in the 17 murders, but claimed Raya dragged her into the first for a mere £3. After that, she was too scared to refuse further participation. The trial captivated Egypt, marking the first time women were sentenced to death for such brutal crimes. In 1921, Raya and Sakina, along with their accomplices, were hanged, their names forever etched in Egypt's darkest history. The killer sisters left behind a legacy of fear, manipulation, and death, a story that still haunts the nation's imagination. Remember, evil often hides in plain sight. Thank you for watching.